welcome to Thursday night NAGP GT1 Racing. I'm Jack Ivy and I'm along with Kenny Hot Rodriguez. Stay tuned for all the action live tonight from Valencia. Well, welcome, folks, and we're back. Another evening of Thursday Night Racing. Hey, Ken, how you doing tonight?
Hey, Jack. Good evening. We're doing well, actually. Glad to be back this week. Another round of superior and superb GT1 racing here at NAGP League.
Yep, we're off to Valencia. What do you think of this track, Ken?
Oh, Valencia. I think this is a pretty superb track, actually. This is maybe perhaps one of the less liked tracks for our very fast GT1 drivers. However, I like it. I don't like it much myself, but I drive fairly well on it. It's a 14-turn road course circuit, permanent. It's got some nice fast sweepers, and it's very, very technical track because from turns 2 all the way to 14 you are driving on eggshells. It's all technical. The only time these drivers here tonight will get to stretch their legs is on the front straight and between turns 1 and 2 from Aspar to Doohan, but the remainder of the track is all technical. We should see some great racing here tonight. Very hard to pass, by the way, on this track. Yeah,
you know, I really like the corner number 12. Excuse my French for the Champy Harrios, and corner number 14, the Adrian Campos. Those seem to give the drivers fits, and I think we're going to see some action at those corners.
Adrian Campos is akin to an off-camber turn. Really is. You're coming down the hill, and you have to get in tight as close as you can to the trailing apex of that turn to really put down the power. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get to see some of these drivers perhaps overcooking it into Adrian Campos and maybe even putting it in the kitty litter. That's not what we're hoping for, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see it. These GT1 cars, they're very powerful, and it's very easy to overestimate the corner there.
Yeah, and I think we're in for another barn burner tonight. Last time they raced here was in season 18, I believe, and we had some qualifying times down around the 127 mark. So are we going to break that tonight, do you think?
It's quite possible, Jack, because I see that every time we return to a previous track venue from a previous season, these guys just seem to kick it up a notch. So it's a testament to the improvement in driver skill as well as the car packs that we're running here at NAGP.
Well, man, I wish they'd stop improving, Ken, because boy, oh boy, when I joined the league about 4 seasons ago, even though I'm much better now, so is everyone else here. Everyone is stepping up their game around here at NAGP.
No doubt. That's the progress of sim racing. We sim race to get better, not to move backwards. So, like you said, we've gotten better, but so has everybody else.
Man, they sure have. And you know, these GT1 cars, they are quick.
Certainly are. High torque, high horsepower cars, and you know, some of these models, you feel like you're driving on the edge 100% of the time. It's almost like driving on eggshells, if you will.
Yeah, I haven't quite got a handle on these GT1 cars. Well, I really don't even have a handle on the GT2 cars, but boy, these things are quick, and they are just loaded with all sorts of power.
All sorts of power and all sorts of drivers too, Jack.
Well, Well, that's the good thing around here, Ken. I mean, we've got them, from front to back. We've talked about it before. Lots of great racing here for all skill levels. Whoa, just on board with Canavan as he sort of loses it on the last corner, and that last corner is going to be a tricky one.
Yeah, no doubt. That's going to be probably the pain point for some of these drivers tonight, and it's just a matter of getting used to this track and the layout, and just marking your reference points as a driver and knowing where your braking zones are, and trying not to overcook it into the corner.
Yeah, in the pre-race chitter chatter, we were talking to Ian Jolliker about that, and he was mentioning that, that last corner was one that he really didn't like because he couldn't attack it as aggressively as he wanted to. But, somebody like Greg Myers and a Brad Maris may do just absolutely fine with that type of corner.
Quite possibly, and I think that car setup has a lot to do with that. You want to balance out the car based on the types of corners, and Valencia happens to be a very well-balanced track. There are a few more left-handers than there are right-handers, but there's a good mixture of both here. So I would assume and guess that a lot of the drivers are probably setting up their cars fairly equally with the suspension and the race geometry that they may be using tonight for their setups. But setup is crucial here. It's key.
Well, and we know there are a lot of setup gurus here at NAGP who take this a very serious approach to this, car setup and track layout. So, I'm following along with John Ludden as he puts it off, and he was on a pretty good lap there.
Yep, Ludden, who was our last week's winner, carrying around some success ballast tonight. He's got 88 pounds, 40 kilos.
Yeah, well, you know what? He's never been happier to carry 88 pounds in his life.
Probably not, boy, but I'll tell you what, man, them 88 pounds do make a difference in these GT1 cars, considering the field of competition that you have to compete against here. It can make the difference. Then again, there's some drivers that 88 pounds is means absolutely nothing to them.
Well,
we watch Alex White. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to mention that we see Alex White jump up to an early lead right now with a 128.036, but Rich Hromin with a 128.07. So what's that? 4/400ths of a second off.
Yeah, no surprise to see those guys up there. I know Rich has been out practicing on this track quite a bit. I've been doing my espionage and super snooping on with our online timing, live timing that you can find on nagp.com. And he's been out there online on the server doing a lot of practice, so not surprising to see him jump up in the leaders.
Certainly not. Rich Hromin is certainly a great competitor here at NAGP. And, wow, David Canavan now just takes it into the 127s. How about that?
Well, not a big surprise. I was just on board with Andre Prado as he finishes his hot lap. He is sitting back in P16, so maybe Anger Racing is still trying to get a handle on these Vipers.
I believe so. Probably a little bit out of Andre's typical pick 4 car. I cannot recall him driving a car similar to the Viper in the past. I could be wrong. Again, I've only been here for 3 seasons, but nonetheless, the Viper seems I like the Viper. It's fairly stable, so give him another race, maybe even in this race, to see what dividends will pay off here.
Well, I do know during the draft, that draft pick for Brad and Andres raised a few eyebrows.
Yeah, it did.
On board with John Ludden, last week's winner, coming up to his sector split. Let's see how he's doing. Four 100ths off full pace. John's sitting back in P14 right now, but I'm sure he's going to try and improve that position. Maybe you're right, Ken. Maybe that 80 kilos is not too happy in with this Pagani Zonda.
Perhaps not. And just watching him go around turn 14, you can see that the right side of his car is bottoming out perhaps a little bit more than desirable, which translates into some drag because you are hitting the ground and will slow your car down. So I liken carrying 40 kilos in your car to, it's like carrying your small child in your race car with you.
Yeah, on board now with Andrew Werner. He's on a hot lap too, coming up to his first sector split. Andrew showed some real good pace in the early practice.
Yep, Andrew Werner teamed up with David Poole, and they've been doing really, really well in the Aston Martins.
Yeah, and you know, if anybody can get this this big ass Aston set up, it would be David Poole.
Yeah, one of our setup gurus here at NAGP.
Andrew in through the final turn. And he does not improve. Brad Maris currently sitting in P5. I think Brad was the one who might have wanted this Viper a little more than Andre.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I recall when Andres announced the Viper, we heard an elated Brad scream out "Yes!" in the forum, in the Ventrilo hall.
I think even Brad was surprised that Andre went along with him.
Yeah, perhaps.
But then, you know,
Aaron Parsons jumping up to P2.
Well, the wonder from down under. No wonder here. Because Aaron Parsons came in second in the last time they were here, so this is a track he definitely likes.
Or not, and can just drive it well like me, right?
Well, you got to drive a track. If you can reach a podium, you got to like that track. Brad stuck in traffic here, not going to help his time out. Nope, and Brad parks it.
Keeps it in P5 currently. So Jack, I was just going over some stuff here on my end, and I was looking at the team championships early going on. After one race, we have Broken Wheel Racing in first place with 26, eh? That's John Ludden and who's his partner, Paul Hall?
Yes. Well, you know, Ludden with the win has really gained the points up on that one, and I guess we'll be looking to Paul Hall to step up the game, and I'm sure his teammate will be working hard with him.
Absolutely. Right now, John Ludden is responsible for the 26 points that the team does have. If you recall, he scored the 2 points in the quali race because in the Super Pole at Suzuka for having set the second fastest time during the Super Pole event, and naturally winning the race gave him the full 24 points. So good on John Ludden. So Alex White responding to Aaron Parsons' 127.9 with a 127.7, currently sitting in P2 driving the Saline SR7.
Well, the White Lightning. Boy, oh boy, what can I say about this young kid? He is aggressive, he's a very clean driver, and he is fast.
Not to mention a decent commentator.
Yes, yeah, very, Very well put as well. Yeah, this kid is just so fast. It amazes me.
Yep, absolutely. But the story tonight, David Canavan, man on a mission, setting the fast pace right now. And for those of you watching by television that don't know, after the Super Pole and feature races, every race thereafter until the final Super Pole, we have 25 minutes of open qualifying. That's 25 minutes where all the drivers get to go out there. They can do unlimited laps in those 25 minutes, and they are trying to achieve the fastest lap that they can put down within those 25 minutes to determine the starting grid for the race that follows immediately after the qualifying sessions and the warm-up.
And I'm on board with Rich Hromin. He doesn't improve, but boy, he was sure thrashing that Corvette around. We got Brian Mongrain up in P5 right now. Boy, oh boy, that is a great qualifying effort in the Ford GT, but it's not surprising. That Ford GT must love this track because Tiago Canola won the last time they were here in a Ford GT.
Yeah, no surprise. Oh, Brian Mongrain losing it on the last corner. Boy, I tell you.
That dreaded last corner.
Adrian Campos must have been named after somebody quite elusive.
Well, just jumped on board quickly with Chris Moses. Let's follow him around to the first sector. And boy, he is using every bit of track. This guy is exciting to watch. I mean, he should be in Japanese drifting contests.
No doubt. He loves a loose performing car. Loves to slide the tail end around. It's his way of getting around the track faster. I mean, you know, everybody's got a different driving style, and what works for one may not work for the other. But Chris Moses, certainly, we've seen it over and over again. He loves to slide the tail end of the cars around, almost in drift manner, and he just keeps it on track, and he's fast that way. Good
yeah,
Chris.
And you know what? He seems to get faster and faster as the race goes on. He's about 0.4 of a second off the pole.
Takes it quick through Champi Herreros.
Grabbing some gravel there. That's not going to help.
No, certainly is not. It's going to put him in the 129s. Well, 128.9, yeah.
Boy, Andre Prado still down in P17. Let's hang in here with Andre and see what his split times are. About a second off in the first sector.
Andres is carrying 66 pounds of ballast, so that could be an affecting factor here for the Dodge Viper.
You know, it looks like it's going to be a factor for all the guys carrying ballast. And, you know, when we go to warm up, we'll run through the penalties because there is a bunch of ballast out there tonight, boys.
Yeah, the Rock Quarry were very happy when we called them up and placed the order for the for the ballast.
Yes, everybody had to open up the back hatch and throw a bundle in.
Yep, sack of rocks. So Alex White jumping back up to the top, besting David Canavan for the moment. So he is sitting on provisional pole as he threads the needle between two race cars and then loses it.
Yep.
Brad Maris now jumping up into P5.
so?
No, I still feel that Brad and Andres will still sew together a fairly decent season. If they are facing challenges with the Dodge Viper, I'm sure that they'll be on the phone with Dodge technical support, getting the support that they need for that car to get it around the track even faster. But I'm not going to count them out yet, because these guys they're just about akin to a magician. They can pull a rabbit out of the hat.
No, you know what? They make an absolutely fabulous team. So there's no way you can count these guys out.
Yep.
So as quality winds down, they're all plowing out of the pits onto the track. Werner's on a hot lap. We'll check out his first sector. And he loses it. Down to P13, Chris Moses, so he's lost a few spots in the last couple of minutes. Let's see if Chris can improve in this sector split. About 4/100ths or 4/10ths of a second off, so big lurch. Boy, they are all getting really aggressive out there, Ken.
Yeah. Closing moments of qualifying. This is where it all counts right now. These guys are going to try their best to improve.
Chris Moses up to P5 on that last run.
Pulls the rabbit out of his hat, eh?
He did indeed.
No surprise there. He was probably trying to push into the 127s to secure that, but 128.06, not bad at all, Mr. Moses. But look at this, Brian Mongrain takes it up into P3, right?
And we've got Aaron Parsons out on a hot lap, and he is right close to pole time right now.
Boy, I tell you, it wouldn't surprise me if Aaron really pushes hard now to try and grab that provisional pole.
Boy, he sure looks like he is pushing hard. Three 100s off. I don't know if that'll do it. It move him up any.
Well, it's all going to come down now to this very technical part of the track. Oh, he just slides the tail in just slightly.
You know, when they go up over the crest of that hill, the cars are almost getting airborne.
Just about. This is going to determine where he's going to finish. He may have time for one more, but it looks like he parks it.
Well, Canavan looks like Canavan will have one more shot at pole. Alex White is coming through to improve his time. Canavan, he is off by 2/100ths of a second, so he's probably going to sit right where he is in P2.
Coming up on the first sector split. Don't know if he's going to have time to finish this entire lap. He might.
Once the clock runs out, you got about 30 seconds there. No, he is off that time in a big slide there. He is going to stay there. Yeah, he's parked it. So Alex White has parked it.
Yep.
I don't know if John Ludden's going to have enough time.
Checkered flag did wave to signal the end of qualifying. Yeah, don't think John Ludden's going to get this one in.
But hey, with that ballast, P9 is nothing, to sneeze about.
No, not at all. Coming around that last corner for John Ludden. Oh, he getting kicked.
Well, well, we're going over to warm-up, I would take it.
Actually, quali 2 for the drivers to attend their drivers meeting, so we have some moments here.
Well, while we have some more, Ken, I am going to run our little penalty clip from all the infractions of last week.
Should be fun.
Well, Ken, the music is not playing out, but it's scrolling through all the penalties for the guys.
Yep, I'm actually watching it on the broadcast live right now. Looks really good. Wow.
Yeah, you know, Louis got tapped in there, and this is one of those calls where I don't know. I feel for poor Liquid Lou. He got tapped off. It was all bunched up there, but boy, oh boy, he created a bit of a mess.
Well, when you take into account that a lot of these penalties did occur at the chicane at Suzuka, that's a really tight chicane area. It's nothing to sneeze at, I should say. It's really tight, really technical. A lot of things can happen there.
Yeah, and then we had 2 penalties by Ryan Mayfield.
Yep, we sure did.
And then Calderon takes out Cup Douglas. He loses a little bit. And this was a really great one here with Kreshnik Halili. Sorry about the sound there, folks, but just didn't tee up properly. So we had a few penalties. They all got some weight ballast, got some no quals, but that's what happens.
Indeed, and boy, I got to tell you, I give credit to Kreshnik Halili that even with the weight ballast, he seems to have put in a fairly respectable time tonight.
Yeah.
So Sergio and Kreshnik both carrying 44 pounds. Gub Douglas carrying 88 pounds and John McIntyre 88 pounds. So they're at 40 kilos also. And again, Andres Prado with the 66 pounds. Alex White even is carrying around 44 pounds.
We've got a lot of ballast out there tonight. Now, unfortunately, it looks like Liquid Lou Masciarelli, he had to join up in Quali 2, so he must have dropped the connection. And Matt Taylor's joined up late. So all in all, Ken, we have 37 drivers out there for Thursday night. This is just absolutely fabulous.
It is, and even more so on Monday, where we're seeing upwards of 45 drivers. It's actually, we've seen it start pushing GTR2 to its limits, in my opinion, and I'm sure that we'll see some more, and hopefully at some juncture in the future we will end up moving away from this sim to something a little bit more robust that can handle these large fields that we're hosting nowadays. It's just really good to see.
Well, I don't actually see anything coming down the pipe that quickly, Ken.
Perhaps not, but there have been some rumblings, nothing official, so we'll leave it there. As broadcasters, that is.
Yeah, you know, tonight there's a few guys. I'm just going to play a little clip here. I hope this one plays out a little better. We're going to try and feature on 3 drivers tonight. We'll give you a little bit extra loving. Al Merriman, Lou Masciarelli, and Chuck Carter. So, Al Merriman. You know, he's our chief administrative officer around here. He runs the league. Can't say enough about this guy. So, good on Al. Want to thank Al for putting this all together for us, giving us a place to hang out. Ken, something's gone on. I cannot hear you. I don't even know if I'm broadcasting or not.
All right, Jack, can you hear me now?
I sure can. I thought I lost you, or I got lost for a minute there, Ken. I wasn't sure which one.
No, we're still here. We're still broadcasting, and the broadcast looks really, really good. Just saw the clip featuring Al Merriman, and as you stated, can't say enough about him. Al has built, along with the help of a lot of good folks, a really, really respectable league, one that is admired, in my opinion, within the sim racing community. And he's certainly done a lot for the community. So thanks, Al, again, on behalf of Jack and myself and everybody else. Like Jack said, for giving us a place where to hang out, where to race.
Yeah, and you know what? You nailed it right on the head, Ken. It's not so much a league as it is a community in my, in my eyes. Just a super bunch of guys. I can't think of a better group of people to spend my quality time.
I agree. So, if you're out there watching and haven't taken the plunge, we invite you to NAGP. It's a free and fun league. So, doors are certainly open.
Well, talking about free and fun, it's not free, Ken. We need all the donations we can to keep this league going. So, guys, I know the times are tough, and I know the recession is still upon us. But if you can find it in your heart to throw us a few bucks through PayPal, make your donation, and keep this league what it is, the best place to race and hang out with a great bunch of guys like Ken.
And like Jack, absolutely. No, it's the cost there is we don't charge to race, but we are donation supported, so we appreciate all the help that we can get. And Jack, I believe that I mentioned this during one of the GT1 broadcasts just recently, that last month, in December, we were fortunate enough to be fully funded for the month, and this month we have reached 37% of our expected donation. So we just want to thank those that have dug deep into their pockets, or shallow into their pockets, however you want to call it, and have helped to support this league. Jack and I support this league, and we will continue to do so as long as we've got a place to race. Certainly well worth supporting NAGP. So we want to just thank the folks that have already done so.
Okay, we've only reached 37% this month.
Only?
Well, the month's
sure that we'll get
the month's winding down, Ken. The month's winding down.
We'll get the last 63. I'm pretty sure. After everybody hears this one now.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if you guys haven't made your donation by next week, I'm going to make an announcement, and I'm going to embarrass you all. Not next week. I'm going to be away, but the week after, I'm going to embarrass everybody. So get in and make your donations now.
There you go. Good stuff. Another thing that we want to stress to our viewers online is that if you guys are following along and we don't happen to be featuring the driver that you're most interested in, you are more than welcome to go over to NorthAmericanGP.com and select the GT1 live timing tab, and you'll be able to see where your driver is, what their fastest lap time has been, and what their last lap time has been.
And speaking about another driver, here's a little clip of our second featured driver tonight, Lou Masciarelli. So, Liquid Lou, as we call him around here. I just love this guy. You couldn't meet a nicer guy than Lou.
Yeah, Lou's another one of our animated folks, especially on Ventrilo. So good to have a feature on Lou. So we've just rolled over to the race.
Well, count them down, Ken.
Okay, and here we go. Starting in pole, P1, Alex White Lightning. P2 goes to David Canavan. Brian Mongrain will be starting third. Aaron Parsons in fourth, and Chris Moses in fifth.
Rich Hromin in sixth, Brad Maris in seventh, David Poole in eighth, John Ludden in ninth, and Juan Monroy in 10th. Now, just a quick thing, John Ludden, first win last week. Juan Monroy's first win this week, so good luck out there tonight, guys.
Absolutely. P11, Christian Hamilton. Andrew Werner will start 12th, John Sportelli in 13, Marty Uren in 14, Ian Jolicourt in 15.
Ryan Schleif in 16, Big Al Merriman in 17, Andre Prado in 18, Alex Scott in 19, and Mike Tressler in 20th.
Starting 21st, Jared Keane. 22nd, Gregory Myers. Bjorn Hemmen is going to be starting in 23rd, Jonathan Cupp at 24, and Mike Graytrix in 25.
Andre Cole in 26, Mark O'Connie in 27, Sam Rolfe in 28, Sergio Calderon in 29th, and Koreshnik Halili in 30th.
Jean-Yves Sampson, 31. Paul Hall in 32nd. Gub Douglas, 33rd. John McIntyre in 34th. Chuck Carter in 35th. Lou Masciarelli in 36th. And Matt Taylor will start 37th. And that is your running field, Jack.
Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, Lou and Matt joined up in the Quali 2, so that's why they're starting so far back in the pack.
So we have track temperature of 97. It's dry ambient of 85. Boy, they could not ask for better race weather.
And they are off, and Canavan with a blistering start. But Chris
Canavan with the hole shot, but
whoa. Moses tags Canavan.
Whoa.
Wow, and Canavan's off and grabbed a GT car, Ford GT as well. I think that was one of the Mongrains there, so that is not going to go over well. Chris, you're getting a penalty on this one. I am sure of that. Oh, it looks like Parsons is tapped off, but regains control. Wow. What a mess. Moses is a big pileup. Wow. What a mess here. What an absolute mess.
Wow, incredible. This is atypical for the front runners. Don't know what happened there, but wow. That's all I can say.
Unbelievable. Canavan all the way back to P30. Werner in 30th. Moses back to 33rd. Oh boy, you know what? I haven't seen this messy a start in GT1 in a long time, Ken.
Yeah, I have to agree, Jack. Don't know what happened there. The start was not a pretty one. I'm hoping that most of these drivers can recover, get themselves back in order, and get to racing.
Yeah, we need we need these guys to settle down.
Just going through the field, there's a lot of carnage out there on the field. A lot of cars with damage. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing them duck into the pits early. David Canavan now moving up to P27, followed by Calderon, and then Werner, and then Moses up to 30 now.
Yeah, we've had one of the Koenigseggs off. That's Bjorn Heyman was off in that last corner, which is a tricky one.
Yep. Just settle down, Bjorn, and you'll get it back.
Wow. Boy, oh boy, and that was a barn burner of a start. Not what I wanted to see, but...
Well, you did call for a barn burner. It was in the forecast, Jack, so I put this one solely on you.
Whoa. Hey, the drivers have got to take responsibility for this mess tonight.
No, you're absolutely right. Up front, Alex White setting a dominating pace right now as he goes through the French Quarter, whatever it's called. And coming down into Adrian Campos, which is turn 14, the dreaded turn 14 here at Valencia Circuit.
Wow. Canavan back into 34th. Well, I don't know what to say.
It looks like there's an early challenge for the lead going on between Alex White and Hromin. Hromin running P2, but he's closed that gap to Alex White slightly, and it looks like Hromin is going to start to put some pressure on the White Lightning here.
Well, Rich has got that Mag Croc Corvette pretty tuned in tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brad Maris has come up to 4th, but he is under intense pressure from Aaron Parsons.
Yep, no surprise there. Aaron, a fierce competitor, but so is Brad. So Brad, our resident driving instructor for NAGP Driving School, putting on a display of driving talent, holding off the venerable Mr. Parsons. There's a lot of action going on, Jack, right now. Just too much. We can't even keep up with it.
No, I know. I just jumped back. I've got Joliker and David Poole, and David Poole is looking on the inside of Joliker. You know, Ian told us that that Nissan had power, but he said it was a handful coming around that final corner, but Joliker can hang on to it.
Ryan Schleif in P11.
And right behind Ryan, we've got Gregory Myers and Christian Hamilton for the 12 and 13 spot. Couldn't see if Greg's got any damage, but Christian definitely has some front end damage on that car.
Yep, he does. He's got a V-shaped bumper. Certainly going to help hurt him down the long straightaway here, but probably not much effect here on the infield.
A little farther back, we got Mikey Greatrix, and he has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has got 7 cars hunting him down, but he's got a little bit of a gap there. So Mikey doing really well early in that. I believe it's the Ferrari F40, but Hit's bashed up as well.
Yeah, actually, he was right behind Jonathan Cuppett, and he actually took away P16 from Jonathan Cuppett, so he just finished making that pass. But he's got a pack of wolves on his tail.
Yep, he's got Marco Conti in behind him, and Cuppett behind him, and I think Chuck Carter behind him. No, that's Alex Scott in the other Nissan.
Yep.
Boy, they are all bunched up there. Who said there's not good racing here all the way through at NAGP? I don't know.
I don't know. You got the boss in P20, Al Merriman, driving the other Ferrari 550, followed by David Canavan. Then it looks like Marty Uren running in P22, battling with Matt Taylor in the other Ferrari F40.
Yep, they are all going wide. Canavan looking to get around Big Al. Big Al looking on the inside of Jonathan Cuppett.
You know, I got to say this, Jack. I can probably understand why Canavan right now is probably driving like a man possessed. You put in all the hard work for a good qualifier. You make it your business to start up at the front, and it gets it pretty much gets washed out within the first few corners.
Yeah,
Kind of, it's hard as a competitor to take.
You know, it is probably, you know, and I don't know why we can't sort of rein this in a little better. The first lap is the worst time to get knocked off the track because you're not losing one spot, you're losing handfuls of positions by the fraction of a second.
Not to mention the concentration that you're losing as well, because it's very frustrating on any competitor to lose so many positions and then try to gain the back. It's not easy. But try they must, and they must keeping on. So here's to hoping that Canavan can probably takes it off track. This is not going to help him at all. He loses another couple positions.
Yep.
To some of the drivers coming by.
Yeah, he's got Marty Uren in front of him. And Matt Taylor now, so he's got to work those spots back. But took the pressure off Big Al. Chris Moses back in P24 as well. Oh, and Chris's car is frozen up. Big lag there.
Yeah, he's back underway. He's got huge damage in the front of that Ferrari. Huge. This just smashed to bits.
Well, back.
I'm wondering if that contact with Canavan in the early going may have been attributed to some lag there, Jack.
I'm thinking the same too. So there you go. We've got a lot of guys with great pace back in the field. You mentioned it earlier, not an easy track to pass, and they have got their work cut out for them because we should be running roughly 59 or 60 laps tonight.
Right. That's, yeah, I believe 63 is what the race calls for, but we may end on time.
Yeah, the last race they had here in season 18, they ended on 59 laps, Ken.
Yeah, so I can't see us going 63. Probably end up with about the same amount of laps.
Yeah, these guys
as well.
Yeah, it'll go on distance. These guys are just too fast. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So your race leader,
John McIntyre.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
I was just making an observation. John McIntyre and Gup Douglas are driving the green Aston Martins. Was that a change in car for these folks?
It might have been.
We're gonna have to get one of our investigative reporters on that to find out.
Well, this investigative reporter isn't doing too good. Let me take a look here.
Yep, I'm actually already there to see if this was indeed a change for these guys. The spreadsheet was updated already, but I believe it was a change. Last week when we were at Suzuka, I jumped in the Aston Martin as the observation car because nobody had selected that. So there had to have been a switch for GM Racing. And I do have a spreadsheet that does highlight what
they were in the McLaren F1.
Yeah, they were in the McLaren F1. Yeah, the Pirelli shot. So now they're in the Aston Martin with the Pirellis.
So 3, 4, and 5, we've got Ludden, we've got Maris and Sportelli, and they are dog fighting it all the way right now, coming into the final corner. Always a tricky one. Boy, that Sportelli took that corner really nicely. Maris all over the back of Ludden. Ludden hanging it out there, but he keeps it on track. Ludden, Maris.
Worked his way up to P3, eh?
Yes. Well, first lap schmozzle helped him out a lot.
Yeah, it looks like he avoided it. I don't see any damage on his car, so it looks like he got through cleanly.
But that being said, he is hanging on to that P3.
By a thread.
Yeah, and I don't think Maris is carrying any ballast. I could be wrong, though, but I don't think he is.
No, he's not. I was checking on his conditions a little bit earlier. Whoa, Sportelli almost getting into the back of Brad Maris.
That was close.
Aaron Parsons having worked his way up to P6.
Yeah, and you know what? Parsons is loving this battle right now. You know, I think he can see a little love tap going on, and he'll just be zippity doo dah right through this crowd.
You know, and not too far behind these boys is in P7. You have Juan Monroy, the winner of our Monday night GT2 race.
Yes, could Juan be smelling another podium?
Boy, I wouldn't be surprised, and it'd be pretty nice to see. He really put on a show at Ruapuna Park Monday night and took home the victory. So good on Juan. He's gotten many congratulations in the forum. Very well deserved after 145 races. Can you believe that?
Oh yeah, I can believe it. But you know what? He's stuck with it. You know, I love this guy for the last couple of seasons. We knew he was only a matter of time before he had a breakthrough, and this has really got to spur him on. He wants up on that podium again.
Yeah, I believe, you know, that type of a victory coming after so long of putting in your time and your hard work week after week has got to spawn a new level of motivation for you.
Yeah, and in behind Juan is Andre Prado, who's moved up. I do believe he started around 16th or 17th, so he's up to P8. His car looks pretty clean as well. David Poole in P9.
Yeah, no surprise.
And Christian Hamilton in P10.
Nice, Christian Hamilton getting up to the top 10.
Yeah, and Ryan Schleif having another good race. He is currently in P11. Ian Joliker in the Nissan in P12. And Greg Myers hanging on to 13. Andre Cole in 14. Jared Keane having a great start. We haven't seen much of Jared this season. But he is out there in a Porsche, and he is currently hanging on to 15. But holy jumping. A little farther back, folks, Mike Graytrix is hanging into that P16 spot, and he still has that gaggle of cars behind him.
Yeah, he sure does. He's not letting anybody by, which is good. He's driving his race line. Hanging on to that last points paying position right now.
Teammate Marty, you're in. He got collected. Oh my goodness, there is more carnage out there as the drivers take evasive action. Marty gets it back going, and Alex Scott got collected in that as well. Boy, we are seeing all sorts of weird stuff going on tonight.
I think we need a sky shot. Is there a full moon out tonight, Jack?
There is something going on. Was it the water in the water bottles that the drivers had before the race started? I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm looking for a full moon somewhere tonight.
So I got Chris Moses chasing down Jonathan Cuppett. But you know what? I'm just going to move up a little farther here because Big Al Merriman is in P19. Marco Connie is all over the back of Canavan, and they are hunting down Mikey Graytrix. Oh, hang on, Mikey. You got Canavan coming for you. Canavan having a look on the inside. Marco Connie on the outside, and Canavan takes the position. Nice pass by Canavan, and good on Connie to give him the room.
Quick update on Juan Monroy. He's managed to move up to P5.
Go, Juan, go.
He is Juan in a million.
Whoa, I'm liking it. So now, did Maris have a little bit of an incident? Because now Maris is back in P6 with John Sportelli behind him. So Juan must have taken advantage of something that went on there.
That's what I'm thinking here as well. Brad and Sportelli did not swap their positions relative to each other, but Juan Monroy must have been able to capitalize on something there.
Well, good driving on Juan in that Ferrari. He is looking to chase down Aaron Parsons, who's already coming upon lap traffic. That looks like Juan's teammate, Sergio Calderon. So Parsons puts his sights on John Ludden. But up front,
David Canavan moving up into P16 now.
Boy, I think he's been there a couple of times already. So Hromin doing his best to hang on to the back of Alex White. Let's just flip over to the leaderboard and give everybody a look-see.
Well, we still have 37 running cars. Very good.
I think 30 of them are damaged. we got White out in front by 2.5 seconds over Hromin, and they're putting a bit of a gap on the field. There's another 10 seconds back to John Ludden, but Parsons is closing in on Ludden with less than a second between them. But boy, there is some good racing going on, especially down around P15. Jared Keane, David Canavan, and Mikey Graytrick. So it looks like Canavan has got around Mikey, but Mikey's coming under pressure from Big Al Merriman. Let's jump on board there. On board with Big Al Merriman.
Yep. Looks like Mike Graytrix may have gotten some damage to both sides of his car, so a little aero damage, and in the back bumper as well. Might slow him down just a wee bit.
Well, Mikey's really stepped up his game this year, and it's good to see. I think we might have lost a driver.
Yes, yeah, I believe it was Dave Canavan, Jack. I don't see him on the roster. Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, he sure had.
No, I'm sorry. No, he's in P16. No, I was mistaken. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't see anybody else there, but it sure sounded like we lost somebody.
So we got Dave Rowley in the in the chat room. Says my alarm clock, aka Alex, failed. Didn't wake me up.
Well, Dave, I don't know if I would buy an alarm clock that was named Alex.
Nope. You want an alarm clock named Emerson right by your bedside.
My alarm clock is made by WIFE.
Those are bulletproof.
Well, I don't know. I've been bachelor for a week now, Ken, as my wife is away on a little trip with her girlfriends, and I don't think I've made it into the office before 9 o'clock this whole week. But the rest of the boys are all there at 7:30 in the morning, so I'm feeling a little guilty. I'm going to try and get up tomorrow morning and make it in.
You know, up front in P4, you got Aaron Parsons all over the tail of John Ludden now for that final podium position, putting pressure on John Ludden. But John Ludden seems to be holding his own right now around this track.
Yep, just picked you up there. I'm on board with Aaron Parsons.
looks like Parsons may have a little something down the stretch, but Ludden's pulling away on the infield slightly.
Boy, a very technical track. I like this track, personally.
Yeah, technical it is.
Yep, the wonder from down under. Trying to grab that podium position, but Ludden would sure like to repeat and get back on the podium. But right behind him is Juan Monroy in behind Parsons, and I do believe that Juan Monroy is closing the gap on these guys.
Yeah, that he is. Ludden is going into a defensive driving position, so he's defending his line, defending his position as Parsons try to pass, but this gives Monroy that opportunity to drive the fast line and close that gap on them, Jack.
Yeah, and they're
up on a lap car.
Yeah, I do believe that is Liquid Lou Masciarelli. Whoa, it looks like Ludden trying to go on the inside there, and he makes the pass. Ludden around the inside. Parsons around the inside. And Juan looking to complete that, but oh, and gives Lou a tap, and Lou is off into the gravel. Juan, you might have some splaining to do. A little bit more patience out there, brother.
Yep.
I know he didn't want to lose contact with this group of cars, but, you know, not a real excuse in giving somebody the love bump. Well,
love bump.
You know, again, guys, you know, just my opinion, eh? I mean, just my opinion. Sportelli now coming up to Lou. Again, you know, some of these faster drivers, you know, need to show just a little patience, you know. They know they're being lapped. They're doing their best to find the best place to get over and let you by.
Yeah, no doubt. So Sportelli, trying to find his way around Liquid Lou, and this gives David Poole an opportunity as we see that the blue flag is starting to wave. But Poole had a small opportunity as he gives the lights over to Masciarelli to let him by. Doesn't want to let Sportelli too far out of his sights.
Well, you know, you're only going to get bumped around so many times, and then you're going to say, drive around me.
Well, you got somebody like Andres Prado following you. You want to get away as fast as you can.
Yeah, you know, typically I like to try and get off, but, you know, there's no reason for lapping cars to go off the track. There's plenty of room. There's plenty of time. These are long races. They're an hour and a half. I know every second counts, but 1 or 2 seconds is not going to make that big a difference. And if it does, we got to get farther up there. Parsons all over the back of Ludden. And I mean all over the back of him.
Yep. And just going back real quick to what you were saying, I find, Jack, that when the fast guys are coming up on me, I give them a 1 to 1.5 car width around, let them take the inside of the corner. These guys will just slip right by. Nobody's losing any real time there. You can keep your position, keep on racing.
Yes, and you know what? These top drivers are good enough. They'll get around. If you give them the room, they'll get around. Whoa, Parsons up tight. Getting a huge run off on Ludden now. Ludden moving to the inside and letting him by. You know what?
Yeah, he let him by.
Probably a really smart move on John Ludden's part.
Well, there's one thing that we know here, Jack, and I'm starting to see some of this play out right now. The McLaren being better on tires than the Saleen, okay. I think Parsons may try and push up for Second spot as well over the Corvette. I mean, Hromin's not going to give him much in the way of room, but I believe that that Parsons can catch these guys.
Well, you know what? That just over on the leaderboard now, Ken. You know, Alex White and Rich Hromin, they're holding their gap. Just a little, 2.5 seconds, a little under 2.5 seconds from each other, but they're still 12 seconds up over P3. So, I mean, definitely cream of the crop tonight has got to be White and Hromin.
Yeah, 2.40 second gap from White to Hromin. First to second, like you said, another 12 seconds back to Parsons, but I believe that Parsons is going to be looking to close that up fairly quickly here. They're currently working lap 19, and can't help to think when these pit rotations are going to be starting.
That sounded like a drop driver. We're down to 35 drivers. So, Celine is going to wear his tires out. What about that Corvette? Ken, what can we expect there?
The Corvette is a more balanced car when it comes to tire wear. However, I will say this. Valencia, tough on tires. It's a hot track. It's 105 degrees on the track right now and a 90 ambient. So this track temperature is certainly playing its part on wearing these tires out. Again, I know that the McLaren is efficient on tire usage. It may give Parsons a bit of an edge over the two front runners, but they've got a commanding lead right now. But as I stated, he was going to be looking to shut that gap down. It looks like he's narrowed it from 12 down to about 11 seconds. So Parsons looking to close that gap down as best as he can. Can't help to think that the pit rotations and the pit strategies will play an important part here as well.
Well, we're going to be a few laps away before they start getting into the rotation, so why don't we do a quick, not quite halfway rundown?
Yep, starting in P1, currently Alex White holding a commanding lead over Rich Hromin at 3.3 seconds in P2. Aaron Parsons in P3, John Ludden in P4, and Juan Monroy in P5.
Brad Maris in P6, coming under pressure from John Sportelli in P7, David Poole in P8, Andre Prado in 9, and Christian Hamilton in 10.
Yep, not far back, Ryan Schleif is running 11th, Ian Jolicoeur in 12th. Right behind Schleif, David Canavan in 13, Andres Cole in 14, and Big Al Merriman in 15.
Gregory Myers in 16, Jared Keane in 17. Man, that Jared's car is beat to pieces. Mikey Kratrix, another one with a lot of damage in 18. Marty Uren in 19, and Matt Taylor in 20.
Chris Moses in P21, Andrew Werner in 22nd, Alex Scott in 23rd, Sam Rolfe 24th, and Jonathan Cuppet in 25th. Brian
Mongrain in 26, Paul Hall in 27, Jean-Yves Sampson in 29.
Guff Douglas had a switch.
Yeah, we did. Guff Douglas is now running in 30th.
Yeah, Johnny McIntyre in 31st, Lou Masciarelli in 32nd, Jorn Heeman in 33rd, Kreshna Khalili 34th, and Chuck Carter in the pits in 35th.
Yeah, and while we got Chuck Carter in the pits, let's just have a little update on Chuck. There you go. It might be a little surprise to you guys. The doctor is in the house. Chuck Carter is a doctor here in the U.S., so we get them from all walks of life, don't we?
We absolutely do. We have airline pilots, we have doctors and surgeons, and just people that do nothing but sim race all day, too.
Yeah, and we got a lot of young guys, and then we've got a few old guys, Ken.
So, real quick, Jack, up in P5, if you care to jump up there, Juan Monroy putting immense pressure on John Ludden. I can't help but think that them 88 pounds are contributing to some tire wear on that Pagani Zonda for Mr. Ludden.
You are probably correct there, Ken. And I'm on board with Juan Monroy.
And not far behind him is Mr. Maris. So, wow. Some great racing action up here towards the front.
Yeah, Juan having a look, in tight. Boy, that gravel over on the outside of turn one looks really dangerous, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Quick update. We did lose Sergio Calderon, and we lost somebody else. Not sure who that was, but someone else just dropped.
Well, I'm surprised we didn't get more guys drop early on with that first lap schmozzle, because that was a doozy.
Yeah, it certainly was. Uncharacteristic of these guys, but I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it in Ventrilo after the race.
Yeah, and folks, you can join us up on the NAGP website and follow along at the post-race posts that are up there in the forum. Always entertaining. I look forward to reading Marco Conti's write-up after this race.
Yep, no doubt. Marco had a lot to say after the morphing incident he had to suffer in the GT2 race on Monday night.
You know, not too far back from the action here, I'm on board with John Sportelli, who was trying to chase down Brad Maris. So these guys are all contending. They're all in within striking distance of that P3 spot as they come up to lap traffic, going around one of the big Aston Martins.
Yeah, and lap traffic, believe it or not, folks, can play into your strategy as well. It gives an opportunity once you're by to go ahead and put a gap, unless the person chasing you is just as fortunate to get by with you. But for the most part, we have seen a lot of these fast drivers use the lap traffic to their advantage. But just real quick, Parsons sliding that car around in P3 has managed to close the gap to about 9.5 seconds from Alex White. Rich Hromin taking over the lead from Alex.
Whoa, I missed that. Sorry, folks. So we must have had a bit of an off with Alex White then.
I'm thinking more along the lines of tire wear, because Hromin was never more than 2 seconds back.
Well, Alex might have dragged something off the side and maybe caught a bit of gravel there to lose 2 seconds. Very uncharacteristic of him to throw a couple of seconds off his pace. It'd be interesting to see if Hromin can put a little bit of distance between them.
It would be. I suspect that fairly soon we may be seeing some of these drivers come up on their pit stops. So
you know, definitely Alex is looks like he's having some control issues out there, so he is definitely want to get some new skins on that car.
You know, Jack, knowing the temperament and the reputation of the Saleen SR7, I would never see myself drafting that car regardless of power. Then again, you know, I'm not Alex White. I can't drive the wheels off a car that way, so it's probably just me and that car not being conducive to my style of driving, because I'd probably melt the rear tires right off the rim the way I drive.
Well, I definitely wouldn't. I don't drive hard enough to melt any tires off, but he's doing his best to hang on to the back of Hromin right now. Boy, that last corner sure gives fits to most drivers.
So we have it looks like we have Dave Rowley and Dave Wilkerson, Dan Wilkerson, and Scott Myers in the chat room with us online. Scott asking for a rundown, I will go ahead and give you a quick rundown, Scott. Rich Hromin currently in P1, just recently overtook that position. Alex White in P2, Parsons in 3, John Ludd in 4, Juan Monroy in 5th, Brad Maris in 6, Sportelli in 7th, Poole in 8th, Prato in 9, Hamilton in 10th, Schleif in 11th, Joe LaCour in 12th, Canavan 13, Merriman 14, Andres Cole in 15, Myers in 16, Uran in 17, Keane 18, 19th is Graytrix, Moses in 20, Andrew Werner 21, Matt Taylor 22, Alex Scott in 23, Sam Rolfe in 24, Brian Mongrain 25th, Jonathan Cupp at 26, Paul Hall 27, Jean-Yves Sampson in 28th, Gup Douglas 29, Mike Trussler 30th, Johnny McIntyre in 31st, Lou Mascherelli in 32nd, Bjorn Heeman in 33rd, and Chuck Carter in 34th.
Well, I stopped as we were running through there, guys. Sorry about that. To catch up, it looked like Sportelli and Brad Maris were swapping paint. Brad got the worst of that, so Sportelli has gone up into 6th, and Brad Maris has gone into 7th. So a little bit of paint swapping going on there, and Sportelli nudged Maris off the track.
Wow, Maris is probably suffering some tire wear issues as he went around Adrian Campos, turn 14, and nearly got it sideways and almost lost it.
Well, he is probably, uncharacteristically trying to drive, as he would say, over his head to catch back up to Sportelli. Now, we should be getting up pretty close. We're going to be in lap 28, 29 for pit changes.
Just a quick update. Hromin has opened up a 9-second lead over Alex White.
So, Alex had to have dragged another wheel off somewhere. Whoa, and Hromin, a big power slide.
Right now, Jeff.
Well, Alex has got to hang on to that. Now, Parsons is taking advantage of that, and he is sniffing that P2. On board with Aaron Parsons.
Oh, yeah.
So that 10-second gap that Hromin and White had has evaporated for Mr. White.
Yeah, that it has, unfortunately. Now Hromin with the advantage of an 8-second lead over White and Parsons. John London slipping a little bit back on the timesheets as well, and is allowing Juan Monroy to slowly catch him again.
Yeah, that's another battle that's brewing. And what?
We're seeing the pit start.
Now, question for you, Ken. Which one of these cars, Rich Hromin in the Mad Croc Corvette, Alex White in the Saleen, or Aaron Parsons in the McLaren, takes the least amount of fuel to run? Do we know?
We don't know. Not factually. My guess here is that the McLaren is probably the most fuel efficient of these 3 cars, but I could be wrong.
Well, if it is, Mr. White does not have enough of a lead, and even Mr. Hromin might not have enough. Because there are mere seconds separating these guys.
Yeah, indeed. So Chris Moses and Andres Prato are in the pits now. So we're starting to see the pit rotations take place.
Monroy in the pits.
Prato is now coming out.
David Poole in the pits. Hey, a little farther back, Christian Hamilton up to P9. That's a great run for Christian. Schleif in the pits in P10. Canavan stays out. Ian Joliker in the pits.
And I'm surprised because that Lambo is not fuel efficient at all.
Well,
that thing is brutal on fuel.
You know, that being said, they might not have the pit window to do it. They might have to come in exactly on the lap they need to stretch the fuel out. Mikey Graytrex staying out on track currently in P11 before the rotations. Jared Keane, boy oh boy, that Porsche. Just give you a little close up there, folks. The front end of that car is just hammered. The same with Alex Scott in the number 22 Nissan. I don't think there's a corner on that car that's not bent. Now, someone I think we've lost is Steve Mongrain, or was Steve out tonight to start the race?
I'm not sure that he was. I know Brian is still out there running in P14 right now. I don't.
Yeah, and Brian had a great qualifying. He started way up there, obviously caught up in the schmozzle. It's put him back, so he's had his work cut out so far tonight.
So Rich Hromin ducks into the pits along with Aaron Parsons and Brad Maris. Alex White stays out.
Wow, I wouldn't have figured that.
I can't help but wonder if I can't help but wonder if Alex is pushing it to the very last lap, but you can tell that that car's tires are probably just about dying.
So White has stayed out. Ludden's not that far behind him. Well, as always, it usually gets very confusing around here around pit rotation time. But, you know, it doesn't take much to get me confused here. White into the pits.
Wow. Maris gets out of the pits just in front of Parsons, just in front of Sportelli. So, round 2 for these three.
Ludden in the pits. Hamilton in the pits. So right now we've got teammates Marty Uren and Mikey Graytrix currently running 4 and 5.
Yep, that they are. I suspect Marty Uren may be coming into the pits now. We'll have to see as he rounds the last corner. Adrian Campos. No, he stays out.
He is staying out.
No,
Mikey's in. Well, one in, one out. A little shake up. Stagger the strategies a little bit. You know what Marty said? Oh, the heck with it. I can be in P1 for one lap.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I'm just wondering if
his car's all beat to pieces too.
Yeah, just wondering if Mike is gonna take on some damage repair, but doesn't look that way. Looks like he may just be going in for tires and fuel.
Well, Alex Scott is currently sitting in P2.
Sam Rolfe in P15 comes into the pits.
Alex letting the traffic go through. I think that might be your race leader. Or will be your race leader as soon as all this pit rotation gets through.
Just noticed a Ferrari 575 hung up and locked up. Hopefully nothing serious.
So, we have got Parsons out in front of White. Did White get in for his pit rotation? Yes, he must have. If not, Alex is going to be losing a ton of time. But I got to think he's already done his pit rotation.
Alex White running in P7. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let me just jump back in there and take a look at that. And yes, he just pitted last lap.
So, Parsons currently in 3. Sportelli in 4. I don't know if Sportelli is pitted or not.
He has pitted. Yes, he did. So right now, 1 through 5 have definitely pitted.
So, Brad Maris into P2.
Yeah, he's Hromin's pitted. Maris, Parsons, Sportelli, White, and Prato have all pitted.
So wow, Hromin with the hammer down is in P1, and it looks like it is pretty commanding right at this point.
He's got about a 7.5 second lead over Brad Maris right now. But Parsons, Maris, Parsons, and Sportelli not too far apart. Going to be battling it out for that second spot.
No, in fact, White is in behind those guys as well. So, 3, 4, 5. That P3 definitely not decided. And Prato.
Right, and Alex, yeah, and Prato. And so Alex White on fresh rubber right now will probably have the advantage over the other cars in terms of speed and grip. But again, we've seen that this track is harsh on tires, so you want to kind of conserve as much tires as you possibly can, not just wear them all out.
Yeah, and we have seen that Celine suffer later in the stints.
Oh, yeah.
So, early one of the P2 runners, John Ludden, is down to P8 after the pit rotations. And he is trying to chase down David Poole.
Looks like Bjorn Heyman in P31 has suffered a flat tire. And we lost another driver.
Well.
Oh no, that was Andres Cole that just dropped. He was already DNF'd.
So we got Schleif in 9th, Canavan in 10th, Ian Joliker hanging on to that 11. Christian Hamilton.
Oh, and Andres Cole.
Go ahead.
In the chat room says that he accidentally pressed the escape key instead of the key for XP on his keyboard.
Oh. Tape that escape key up.
Yep. Put a protective plastic cup over it. Tape it to your keyboard if you're using the keyboard.
I'm feeling for you. Been there, done that.
Just on board with Bjorn as he's trying to come into the pits. A little bit of a melee behind him. Not sure who was involved. And we've got a Saline locked up just after Adrian Campos turned 14.
Well, that would be our Alex White, because I've just saw the other Saline being lapped by Paul Hall, and looks like Gregory Myers.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Alex White, who has been suffering with internet connection problems. Looks like he's in such a bad spot too. Tried on the race line, no doubt. So bad luck for Alex White.
I don't even see him anymore. Yes, I do. He's dropped all the way to P18.
Yeah, he's
19. He's done.
Oh, that is such a shame there.
His car's finally moving now.
Oh, came back, eh?
He came back. Well, he's lucky. He's lucky no one took him out. He didn't cause an accident, but he is all the way back down to P23. Oh boy. If anybody's got their work cut out for him, he does. No, I am showing a backup in the scoring at P4 now. So I have no idea what happened there.
Perhaps the lockup wasn't as long as what we observed.
It couldn't be.
Server could have taken some time catching back up to him.
Yeah, because I'm showing...
It was definitely a lockup.
Yeah, I'm on board with Alex White in P4 as he's chasing down Aaron Parsons. Boy, I wish I could drive like these guys.
I still wonder how much fun it would actually be. I like the mid to rear pack action right now, Jack. It's helping me hone my skills just a little bit.
Yeah, sure. We believe you, Ken. You and me, buddy. There's only two cars on the track we race, and that's each other.
Hey, it's still tons of fun.
Yes, it is. Well, they're starting to get a little stretched out now.
Yeah, good on them. I'll tell you that at Ruapuna Park, that Viper, that SRT Viper was really, really good. Had great grip, good pace on a lot of cars that typically we wouldn't have pace on at most other tracks.
Well, just back here now with Jared Keene. He slipped down to 25th position. Boy, he was running up in P15 there for quite a while. But Jared, I think you should have elected to get the damage fix on that car. What I thought was one of the nicest looking cars on the track has got to be one of the ugliest wrecks I've seen in a long time.
Oh boy, Alex White and Aaron Parsons. Alex White gets by Aaron Parsons, but nearly takes it off track.
Sorry we missed that action.
P3.
I don't think Parsons is done with this character yet, though.
Probably not.
Maris in P2 through all sorts of heavy traffic there. And I don't know what the gap is, but there isn't that much of a gap between Maris. Oh, yeah, a little bit. A few seconds there looks between Maris and our race leader, Rich Hromin.
Looks like Gregory Myers may have had a little bit of an off. Oh no, I believe it may have been Parsons. Andres Prado up to fourth.
Yep, and Prado's got around him, and there is quite a gap now between Parsons and Prado. But good on that lap traffic. They're letting these guys go through pretty clean. So, everybody having their problems tonight, Ken.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. This has been one for the history books here, Jack.
Yeah, you know what? This track is really testing these guys out. We've seen a bunch of leader swaps, a bunch of position swaps in that top 5 positions all throughout the night. So a little farther back, we got Poole and Ludden.
Yep, they're going at it, and a little bit further back than that, starting at P19. P19, you got Brian Mongrain, Matt Taylor 20th, Alex Scott 21st, Sam Rolfe in 22nd, Cuppin in 23rd, and Chris Moses dropping back to 24th.
Well, I wouldn't have expected to see Chris all the way back there. But there is a gaggle of cars there. You are right. You know, Mongrain's got a little bit of a gap there. But Matt Taylor being chased by Scott and Rolfe, they're all battling tooth and nail.
Yep, that indeed.
Great racing going on here. Sorry if we're missing some of the action. You guys want to see somebody, let us know. We'll jump over on board for you. Yeah, Chris all the way back to P24. Not one of Chris's better races, but hang in there, buddy. Whoa, Jared Keane puts it in the wall, loses his front end. You don't know if the car's... I cannot believe that he didn't lose the motor on that one.
Wow.
But he's lost everything else on it.
You there, Jack.
He's got a flat tire. He's in the gravel. He's lost the splitter. It's a bit of a mess. Careful getting back out there, Jared. Way you go, buddy.
Well, if he can get it back on track, it looks like he did. Don't know if he's got any steering, but if he can get it into the pits, doesn't look like he's going to be able to. If he somehow manages to get it into the pits, he can get that damage repaired and get right back out there. But he's having a heck of a time trying to get out of that kitty lift.
Well, you know,
not the kind of exposure you want to have, Jared.
Well, you know what? He's trying to stay out of the way.
Turn it.
Whoa, and one of the Nissans has lost it there in the corner as well. You know, they see that car there and whoa, we got, yeah, it looks like he's finally going to make it into the pits. Chuck Carter, Dr. Carter in P33. So let's check the leaderboard out. Hromin, about 9 seconds over Maris, but White is starting to press for Brad Maris.
Yeah, still a little bit of a gap there, but Alex White pushing hard. And Maris just looks... Oh, Alex White with a slide. But Maris looks to be on cruise control right now. Probably keeping an eye in his rearview mirror and knowing that the White Lightning is right behind him. Looks like Alex White making a hard push towards the front, trying to catch Mr. Parsons. Mr. Hromin, sorry.
Yeah, you know what? Going to be tough to pass Maris.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Maris is a very, very good driver. And not easy to get around. He can make that Viper very wide.
So, you had called it earlier. Well, we got Brad Maris going around one of the Porsches. But you had called earlier, Ken, not to count this team, this Anger Racing, out so soon, that Maris and Prado would put in a respectable showing. And here we are with Maris in second and Prado in fourth.
Yeah, absolutely. These, as I stated earlier, these guys are certainly capable of stitching together what could be a run for the team championship in the long run. So certainly a team to keep an eye out on. They've raced together before. They've proven that they are a championship winning team.
Yep, and they'll be right there to the last race. You can count on that. I just dropped a little farther back to Aaron Parsons and John Sportelli, and it looks like Sportelli might have a little bit of pace on Aaron Parsons.
Yeah, perhaps slightly, but Parsons is not easy to get around either. So Sportelli's still having his work cut out for him, but Sportelli looking mighty fast in that Ferrari 575.
And you know what? Parsons has conceded the spot. He has absolutely conceded the spot to Sportelli.
Interesting strategy there.
Yeah. It will be interesting to find out what that strategy is.
And not exactly sure. I do know that they have one more pit rotation to go through. Let's take a look here. Do they?
No, I think this is going to be a one-stopper.
Oh, Jared Keane blew his engine going into the pits. He's out.
Well, we have got Sportelli putting a lap on his teammate, Sam Rolfe. Parsons getting through as well, so, you know, very honorable driving there by Sam Rolfe to let both of those guys who are duking it out for P5 to get through on an equal term. And not far behind them in P7 is David Poole. Ludden hanging on to his P8. But Ryan Schleif.
Monroy.
Whoa, I'm not sure.
P13.
I think he lost some spots. Now, Ryan Schleif has just put the pass on John Ludden, so Ludden feeling the late race effects here, and Ryan Schleif feeling pretty racy about the whole thing.
Showing Ludden in 8, Schleif in 9, and Canavan in 10.
Yes, you're right. I'm sorry, that wasn't John Ludden that he put the pass on. Must have been his teammate.
Yeah, it looks like it was Paul Hall.
It looked rather easy, so maybe his next pass on that Pagani is not going to be as easy as the last one. Still, Ryan having a heck of a race. Whoa, it looked like we see Lou going off track there. Yep, Lou's got it in the kitty litter as well. And he, careful, Lou, careful. Canavan in 10th. Lou's got back on. Joliker in 11th. Haven't shown much of Joliker tonight. I think he's running 11th spot for just about the whole race.
Pretty much there, Jack, yeah. He hasn't moved much from P11.
No, and you know, that's exactly the way Ian called this race tonight. He said, look, I'm going to be up challenging for the top 10, and that's about it. And he called it, and that's exactly where he is.
Juan Monroy back in P13, and the boss right, not exactly right behind him, but Al Merriman in 14th.
Yeah, Juan seems to be struggling a little bit in the late going.
It looks like the pit rotations may have been a little bit off for Juan Monroy and put him back there. Nonetheless, given the level of competition, he's got his work cut out for him to try and get back up there.
Well,
we are currently on lap 43.
You know, I think Juan has got that pit figured out because he sure nailed it on Monday night, I'll tell you.
That he did.
Al Merriman. Yes, go ahead.
We got to give kudos to his partner also, Rodrigo Triana, who finished in 5th. It was his first top 5 finish here at NAGP, so these guys certainly putting in the work. As someone said in the forums, they put it to the aliens and gave a lot of hope for the normal folks.
Well, they sure did. And, you know, Rodrigo should have finished a lot more. He absolutely boggled the pit stop, or else he would have been out ahead of his teammate and could have possibly taken the podium.
Yeah, very much so. Nonetheless, a great effort by that team, by both of them, and having seen Juan Monroy finish first was a delight.
So, a little farther back here, we've got Alex Scott chasing down Matt Taylor and Sam Rolfe. And these guys have been going at it, Alex Scott is chasing down Matt Taylor. They've been going at it for most of the second stint.
Yeah, they have a lap car right between them.
Yep. But you know what? It seems once these races get underway, these guys settle down and become gentlemen. I'm just not so sure what goes on in everybody's collective minds when they drop the green flag.
Oh, there's probably 1,000,001 thoughts that are processed in one's mind there. I know when I'm driving, maybe that may be 1,000,002.
You know, I'll typically give up 5 or 6 spots on the start, just trying to keep myself clean.
And you know, as time has gone on, ironic that you say that, I've become a little bit more aware of the starts in GT2 because we typically have a first lap melee. I'm a backpack starter. 32 seems to be my favorite number in GT2 to start, so that puts me fairly far back there, and I get to see a lot of the stuff that goes on ahead of me. And boy, I tell you, sometimes you feel like you're threading a needle several times over as you're trying to make your way through the carnage.
Well, I'm surprised that it happened so far up in the pack tonight.
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. So it's going to be interesting to see what some of the explanations are for this one.
Well, it sure will be interesting to watch the replays. You can bet I'll have I will get the music sorted out on that one. Not sure what happened with that one. I should have checked all that out prior to the broadcast. But it will be an interesting video replay next week.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see for sure.
So, over to your leaderboard. Hromin, 8 seconds out. Can anybody close this gap?
I don't see it happening. Maris is comfortably in second spot right now over Alex White, so there's about a 6-second lead between Maris. There's a 6-second gap between Maris and White.
Well, I guess it still is possible. You know, we've got about 13 laps left, so I mean, it is possible, but Hromin is sure commanding tonight.
He is. It's going to be difficult. We know that that saline, hard on tires, hard on the rear tires as they are. All Brad has to do is just keep doing what he's doing and maintain the gap. He should be fine. No doubt Alex White is probably going to try and push just a little bit here towards the end to try and close that gap to Maris, but we'll have to see how this one plays out.
Yep, right now Brad Maris turning laps of around 130, I believe. Be interesting to see at the end of this lap where what kind of times that Hromin is turning, but He's going to have to pick up better than half a second a lap to make this a dog race.
Yeah. Hromin currently sitting in the 130s to 131s per lap. He did have a 129 about 3 laps back, but he's holding steady between 130 and 131.
And, you know, we should see those times fall off as they get near the end of the stint.
Currently working on lap 47, and if any of our past seasons are anything to go by, it looks like we may have about 12 laps left to go here, Joe.
Yeah, I just jumped on board with John Sportelli as he is attempting to run down Andre Prado.
Boy, it looks like he may have the pace, but I'll tell you this much, Andres is not easy to get around.
Well, when God gave out patience, I think Sportelli went over to the competitive lineup and got more competition in his blood than he did patience. But time will tell. We will see. Both of them hanging it wide out on that corner.
Yeah, battle for P4. Looks like Prado is going to concede the spot to Sportelli.
Yeah, and he did. You know, off those last 2 corners, you know, John sure had to run on him, and better on, you know, Andre to give up that spot than to risk putting it off and losing more, because right behind him is Aaron Parsons.
Certainly, indeed. Andre's thinking may probably be the fact that Maris is up in second right now. Score some points versus no points. Your partner's up in second. That's going to be a good amount of points for the team.
It sure will be. But, you know, just jumped on board with Parsons, and he is on a tear.
Certainly no surprise there, Jack.
But, you know, even though I'm on the bumper cam with Parsons, Sportelli is not running away from Prado. Prado is, you know, maybe wisely elected just to hang on to Sportelli's bumper rather than try to defend.
Maybe a little fuel and tire conservation strategy there by Prado.
Could be. You might be exactly right. He might be thinking he might have a little bit more left come the closing couple of laps. But we got 4, 5, 6, Sportelli, Prado, and Parsons. Ooh, this is good racing here.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, and Parsons sure has closed that gap on that last lap.
Hromin, Maris, White, Sportelli, and Prado, your top 5. Then followed by Parsons.
Boy, almost like the who's who of NAGP. Whoa, hang on, Aaron.
Bit of a bobble by Aaron Parsons.
Yep. Just trying to get it in close enough to get a run on Prado, but boy, he is all over him.
You know, a little further back, I think we're going to start seeing David Canavan make a run on Ryan Schleif for that P9 position. Such an unfortunate mishap for David Canavan at the start. Boy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that must feel like.
Well, a heck of a drive to come all the way back. I think he was mired back into a 33rd spot. So a heck of a drive to come all the way back up to where he is now. Prado and Parsons making their way through lap traffic. But, you know, good on these lap traffic guys. They're letting these guys go through pretty clean.
Yeah, always good to see in the heat of competition here.
Well, Aaron, as hard as he can work that out and get up close, is going to need to pick the spot to do it in.
Yeah, no doubt Prado not making it easy for Parsons to get by him.
No, you know, Andre taking the preferred line goes a little wide there. That might give Parsons the run he needs.
And with a car directly in front of them, I believe that is Sportelli. Yep.
Boy, that Viper sure has the power down the straights, though. You know, Parsons all over the back of Prado. Great action.
Yep, just looking through, aside from Canavan and Schleif, this is the closest racing that's going on.
Whoa, Parsons cooking it a little bit, but manages to hang on. Even using a little bit of the grass there. Well, it doesn't get much more fun than this.
Nope, not at all, man.
And Parsons just
good close race.
Can't get up close enough to get a draft. And on the bumper cam, I can see that Viper just pulling away just ever so slightly.
Yep, and that little bit of a gap makes a
world
of difference when trying to make a pass. Whoa.
Good run on that corner, though, but leaves him a little shallow into this one, and it looks like he might do it.
He's going to take it wide.
Side-by-side action. Prado trying to answer. Prado on the inside now. But nope, Parsons gets it done. Wow.
Yeah, Parsons took over fifth.
Well, I'm glad we stuck here, folks, because it looked like that was going to happen, and it did. Now, I'm not sure quite what the gap is.
Prado to Parsons to Prado. Exactly 1 second now. It's opened a little bit.
Yep. He's got a little bit of work if Parsons wants to get up to Sportelli. Sportelli getting around some lap traffic, but you know what? Sportelli's going to try and make a run on Alex White.
They are still separated by about 2 seconds, so it's going to take a little bit more closing of the gap. But then again, you know, we know that Again, it goes back to the saline in them rear tires. They get cooked easily,
Yeah,
giving other drivers the advantage.
yeah, and we've seen Alex fade later in the stint in that Saline.
Yeah, yeah, and I believe that it's just something that's beyond his control. It's by design.
Yep, you know, he's driving his race, and you know, if the machine lets him down, the machine lets him down. It's definitely not his driving that's letting him down.
No, not at all.
White takes it off. So White's off, gives up the position. He is now in P4. Oh, and struggling to regain composure. Get it back together, Alex. Wow, you know what? That is...
Yeah, he is sliding that saline.
That has given, you know, renewed vigor to the man in behind, which is the wonder from Down Under, Aaron Parsons, who is now going to put a push on Alex White. But Prado is still hanging on to the back of Aaron Parsons, so Prado is not conceding that, although he give up the spot. You know, it's not going to take much of a mistake from Aaron Parsons to lose that spot back to Prado. Yeah, on board with Alex White. I'm just got the TV cam on him now, and he is struggling to maintain control of that car.
Just jumped a little further back in the field here at P22. Mike Graytrix looks like Jonathan Cuppett is starting to close a gap. They're racing for P22, but no. Oh, hold on, we have Chris Moses in there. Also back in the field, getting ready to put his move on Mike Graytrix. So unfortunately for Mike Graytrix, he's slipping a little bit further down in the field.
I've just caught up with you there, Ken. So Cuppett in 24th, Moses in 23rd, and Moses on the inside. Mikey gives him the flash of the lights.
Yep, Will can see the spot to Moses, and
Moses takes it wide. So even though Graytrix has said go on by, he's probably saying, if you're going, go.
Yeah, he's also got Cuppett to worry about now, so I think Graytrix may have figured, you know what, I'm just going to drive here.
Yep, keep going, Mike.
Doesn't look like Moses can make it stick. Yep, that's it. Keep going. Don't stop.
Yeah, keep going. I don't think Chris has got it tonight. And Chris is probably saying, I can't even pass a car tonight if they give me the spot. Boy,
hey,
I know. I'm going to need a big disclaimer after this one. You know, I think I have it in the closing credits. If not, folks, these are just all my own opinions. I'm not out here to slam anybody. It's all for fun. We're just trying to give you a little bit of entertainment. Come on, we know Chris is one of the best drivers, the most decorated driver here at NAGP. So if he's having an off night, that's okay. You're allowed one, Chris.
And nonetheless, we just want to tell you guys that as broadcasters, we can pretty much darn say whatever we want.
At the pay scale they got us at, you're darn tootin'. But you know what? I would love to be Mikey Graytrix right now, just to be able to say I held off Chris Moses.
Yeah. That's that is quite a feat. But Moses still sliding that Ferrari all over the place.
Yeah, he's obviously got some problems there. And you know what? Jonathan Cuppett in behind them. I know what Jonathan's thinking. He's thinking, I want by Chris Moses. I want by Chris Moses. I want by Chris Moses. Now, the car in front of them, I don't know who that is. That might be Alex Scott that's blowing smoke.
Whoa, Moses giving Mikey Graytrix a hello, I'm here tap in the rear bumper. Alex Scott driving the Nissan GTR. Don't see any smoke trailing right now.
Well, every once in a while there, I see some smoke in front of Mikey. Oh, there goes Chris. Chris on the inside.
He's going to try and take him down the inside. This is going to be hard to make it stick as Graytrix has the advantage.
Whoa, Graytrix has got the line.
Oh!
You know, Chris had to take that corner really shallow, which allowed Mikey the preferred line.
Oh, yeah. So now Mike Graytrix going to try and follow Moses' line to answer back. Looks like he's able to keep up with him.
Whoa, absolutely. Good close racing by Mike Graytrix and Chris Moses. Well, we got a pair of Ferraris duking it out.
Old school versus new school.
Absolutely. I've jumped back up, folks, up to P4. Just to make sure we don't miss some of the leader action. So you got Parsons and Sportelli. Parsons trying to close that gap. It's only a couple seconds back. But we must be winding this one down. So these guys are going to have to make a move if they're going to.
That's it. That's the checkered.
Whoa. Rich Hromin is taking it.
That's the race, Jack. Let me just take a look here. I am just about sure that he did. Yep, he's coming around for the checkered flag.
Rich Hromin, P1.
There it is, yeah.
Brad Maris in the Viper going to take P2. John Sportelli is going to grab the final podium position.
Followed by Aaron Parsons. Oh, White and Prato in a drag race down the front straight.
It is indeed, and Prato has got him.
Wow.
Now we've got Ludden and Canavan, another drag race. Canavan onto the inside, trying to look for an advantage. Ludden taking it wide. Canavan is going to steal the position away from him. John Ludden has given up a last turn.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. Canavan is 7, Ludden in 8th. Hang on to it. We still got more action coming. We got Ryan Schleif in 9.
Yep.
Ian Joliker coming around for 10th.
Jolicoeur in 10.
Juan Monroy, who had put in a brilliant run earlier in the race, is coming around for P11. And Christian Hamilton, a great drive in P12. Another good drive tonight that we, sorry, Big Al, we said we were going to give you lots of loving. We ended up giving your teammate more loving, I think. But anyway, Big Al, P13 for Al. And Marty Urant in behind Big Al for 14. Gregory Myers, no surprise, still in the points in 15th. Andrew Werner showing in 16th. Sam Rolfe in 17th. Alex Scott in 18th. Chris Moses in 19th. Hey, Kenny, do you want to go down and grab that Rich Hromin? Mike Graytrix in 20.
Oh, yeah.
Cuppet in 21st. Mike Tressler in 22nd. Johnny McIntyre, 23rd. Jean-Yves Sampson in 24th. Bjorn Heyman in 25th. Paul Hall, 25. Chuck Carter, 26. And that's it. Oh, Rich Hromin, your race winner. And as Ken goes down to grab, we will have your race winner here, Rich Hromin.
How you doing, guys? Woo!
What a race! Congrats.
Oh man, I'm sweating bullets over here. I thought I had a decent car for this track, but I didn't think I was gonna get a win here, and just get my head down and drove as hard as I could.
Well, you ran a fabulous race. The pit rotations had us all scrambled, wondering who was where, but boy, oh boy, you held them off. You kept you maintained your gap. What a beautiful drive.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. And Brad put in a good drive. He kept me honest. He kept about 7 seconds between me and him, and he was the one I was worried about. If my tires started to go off, he might catch me, you know.
Well,
we were certainly announcing that the saline, when we're in the early going with Alex White, we know that the saline is at a disadvantage, especially at high temperature tracks where those rear tires just start cooking. How about the Corvette? How are your tires holding up in these extreme temperatures?
They were a handful, actually. The Corvette, I was getting pretty significant tire wear, but I knew that going in, and I was concerned, but I could see Alex was really burning off his tires. I really had to kind of manage my tire wear a little bit. I didn't want to. I had to be really careful with the gas pedal. Basically, I had to treat it like an egg, you know, just real easy on the gas because of all the torque the Corvette has.
well,
Excellent win.
again, thanks, Rich. Great finish. Nice win in the books for you.
Thanks, guys. It's a good one. I like. Great job with the broadcast. Thanks again, and woohoo! I'm happy.
Yep, and we're happy for you. Thanks again, Rich Hromin.
There you have it, folks. Rich Hromin. I'm Jack Ivey along with Ken Rodriguez. We will catch you next Thursday. Kenny will be hosting, so join us here at NAGP TV, GT1 Thursday Night Racing.